Welcome back, everyone, to 30 Teams in 30 Days, this time with the Giants edition. And how'd they do last year, Volcanic?
They finished 87 and 75, second in the NL West. Their manager is Bruce Bochy. General manager is Bobby Evans. Those stayed the same going into this season. So what were your predictions for last season?
Um, I had the Giants at 95 and 67, first place in the NL West. I was 8 wins over, of course, and they didn't make the playoffs, but it is what it is.
Wait, what? They did make the playoffs
Oh,
last
they
year.
did?
Yeah, they made the playoffs. They
Oh,
they got bounced by the Cubs.
oh
I'm
yeah.
pretty
That's
sure.
that's probably why I don't remember it.
Oh, okay. Well, my prediction was 80. Wait, let me see. I can't read it. 90 and 72, second in the NL West. So I was only 3 wins over.
Hmm.
I definitely see the Dodgers a lot better than them.
Yeah. What was your best player?
My best player was Madison Bumgarner, kind of similar to Johnny Cueto, except Cueto just had more wins. Madison Bumgarner was 15 and 9 with a 2.74 ERA and 251 strikeouts. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I can't complain with that. But my best player is Johnny Cueto, 18 and 5, 279 ERA, 191 Ks. Can't complain with that either. Who'd they lose last or this offseason?
Well, notable lost players were Jake Peavy, Gordon Beckham, Angel Pagan, Jake Peavy, I think he's shaved or something like that. I can't remember. Angel Pagan, Santiago Casilla, Javier Lopez, Joe Nathan, and certainly Sergio Romo and Gregor Blanco. The only really big one there, I say, is Jake Peavy because he was like a tail end starter. I mean, he was decent,
Hmm.
but yeah, not really anyone notable.
I think they took a big hit to their bullpen though. Casilla, Lopez, and Romo were huge pieces, but they still have a decent bullpen. They also traded away Chris Heston, who was also in the rotation. I never really liked him that much. What were your thoughts on Heston?
I have no clue who that is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Who
Heston
did
who?
they add this offseason?
Notable additions were Mark Mellicone, Matt Reynolds, Michael Morris, Tim Federich. Wait, is that his name?
Tim.
Federal Tim,
Yeah.
Justin Rugani, Jimmy Rollins, old ass player,
Yeah.
Nick Hundley, and David Hernandez. Nick Hundley's actually a pretty good addition for them for when they want to play Butcher Posey at first base and they need a catcher to fill in. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good addition for their team.
Yeah, I like Hunley. Also, Reggiano's pretty good. Morris could perform if he ever gets back to the big leagues, and Melanson's going to be huge in that closer role. If you were the manager, how would you put this team on paper?
This team on paper would be Bumgarner at the one. Like I said, I say he's better than Johnny Cueto. He had a better season than him last year. Then Johnny Cueto, Jeff Samardzija, Matt Moore, and Ty Blanche. This is a really good starting rotation. When I was putting it together, like the rotation, I really didn't realize how good this starting rotation is. Like they have three, four solid pitchers.
Yeah, and it honestly didn't perform that well last year. If all of them just performed to what they're supposed to do, the Giants probably would have gotten farther in the playoffs and possibly would have won the division.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
how's your bullpen look?
Strickland, Kane, Gurman, Orkiert, Law, Smith, and Melicone. That's not a very good bullpen. Yeah, they don't have a very strong bullpen, and Matt Kane is really starting to regress. That's why I didn't have him in my starting rotation. He probably will be, like in real life, he'll probably be in the starting rotation, but he's really regressing. And he took his ERA took a hard hit last season.
Yeah, if Kane's healthy, he can pitch well enough to be in the big leagues, but he's certainly not where he was when he was in his prime. What's your lineup look like?
My lineup's looking like Denard Span at leadoff. He's pretty fast. Actually has some pretty good pop in his bat, so that's pretty good as a leadoff hitter. Then Brandon Crawford, Buster Posey, Brandon Belt, Hunter Pence, Eduardo Nunez, Joe Panic, Mac Williamson, and the pitcher. I think this is a really good starting lineup. One of the better starting lineups in the entire MLB. I mean, they're solid through every position. The only position that I kind of don't like is their left field position. I mean, yeah, their left field position because they don't really have anybody to fit in there. Each player is, I think, hit under 230 last season, so I think that's something they may have to address.
Yeah, we might see something out of Williamson. We don't know how good he'll be in a full season play, but certainly an upgrade wouldn't be a bad idea. What's your bench looking like?
Bench is Nick Hundley, Connor Gillespie, Jarrett Parker, Jimmy Rollins, and Gorski Hernandez.
All right, and for my team, I got Bumgardner, Cueto, Moore, Samardzija, and Kane in the rotation. I think Kane will be in the rotation. If I was the manager, I'd probably still put him in the rotation anyways because I think he's still got something left in him,
I mean,
hopefully,
he'll be in the
possibly.
rotation, but he'll be in the rotation, but not very good in the rotation.
I just hope he's good enough to be in the rotation.
I don't
Uh,
think he is. I think he'll get thrown out of the rotation towards the middle of the season once he starts underperforming yet again.
they'll probably fake an injury or something, put him on the DL. But
Yep.
yeah, the bullpen I got Strickland, Contos, Guerin, Orket, Law, Smith, and Melanson. Melanson's a really good closer. I think he'll replace Romo nicely. Law was actually really good last year. Had I believe, like a 2.15 ERA or something like that. So he's a good setup man. And then my lineup, I got Span, Crawford, Pence, Belt, Posey, Panic, Nunez, Williamson, and then the pitcher. Like you said, this lineup's actually one of the best, I think, at least in the NL. They got speed at the front end. They got a lot of pop throughout the lineup, and all of them will get on base. So should score a lot of runs. And on the
Yeah, it's
bench,
definitely
or
yeah, these guys are definitely like a good average team and power hitting team. And
mm-hmm.
like you said, they have pretty good speed. So I think this lineup is one of the best in the NL, maybe the entire MLB.
Yeah. Um, on the bench, I got Tomlinson, Gillespie, Hernandez, Parker, and then Hundley to be the backup catcher. What are your 2017 predictions for this team?
My predictions are 89 and 73, second in the NL West. I don't think they really did anything to get any better. I mean, they just stayed the same, so they'll be hovering around the same record that they did last year, but I think they'll definitely make the playoffs yet again. And my best player is Brandon Belt. I think he will finally come into his own, like everybody's been expecting him to the last few years. I mean, he had a good season last year, but I think he's probably gonna have a breakout season this year.
Nice. Okay. My predictions 88 and 74, just one win under yours. Second place in the NL West, just like yours. And my best player will be Buster Posey. I think he'll have a bounce back year. I mean, he didn't have a bad year last year. He just didn't perform to the level we're used to seeing. I think he'll get that average back over 300 and hit over 15 home runs. So I think he'll be a huge part of this Giants offense. Any last thoughts for the Giants?
I hate the Giants so
Okay.
much.
All right.
But well, I hate the next team even more. Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, you're a Padres fan, we know. All right, that will do it here on 30 teams in 30 days, and we will see you guys tomorrow for the Dodgers.